Herr Hirzebruch, you were born in October 1927, so you were 11 when the war started and 17 when it ended. What are your memories concerning the wartime?
Yeah, I was living with my family in the city of Hamm, Westfalen, north of the Ruhr district, and I went to a local gymnasium, as we say, secondary school, where my father was even the director, teaching mathematics. Well, but on March 22, 1943, I was 15, I was drafted to the Luftwaffenhelfer. This means anti-aircraft artillery helpers. And we were in a fire position of the local anti-aircraft and aircraft guns, of course. And the whole school class had one room for itself with beds. And there we did military training in the morning and school instruction in the afternoon. The teachers came into our fire position, and we had German and history and mathematics and physics and Latin. We all joked that the enemy languages, English and French, were cut out. And sometimes alarm in the night, but not many dangerous things happened, except once a little bit fell a bomb in the fire position. But I was in hospital, and my friends, they had only slight injuries. So this, then finally we were released of this service in the late fall of 43. We were waiting for the drafting order to the Arbeitsdienst, as it is called, working service, digging trenches or doing all kinds of things, but in fact it was a pre-military education, and the drafting order was expected. Then on December 5, the great attack on Hamm, my city, happened, and the city was very much destroyed, including our house. Yeah, my family was in their refuge already in a small town in the Sauerland called a mountainous area, and I was there too. But my younger brother was running around the destroyed house, and then the mailman came maybe on the next day and brought the drafting order, and he said, well, this family went away, they were completely bombed out, I don't know their address. So this man took the drafting order with him again and wrote that he cannot deliver it. Yeah, this was a genius deal of my brother, I think, 14 years or so old. And so I went to the refuge, to the where my parents were, and the whole family was, and after Christmas the drafting order came. That was January. And this was a very important difference, because in December trains were still running, and they might have sent us to the east at the front to dig and do trenches and all kinds of things. But now one could not travel anymore in Germany, and we were put into a camp near my hometown. And this was, of course, not a very interesting service, and after 2 months or so it was ended, and now we should get the drafting orders to the ordinary military service, and in fact this came in March of 45. So I was supposed to become a soldier there, and in fact I was sent to the local artillery barracks in my hometown. Yeah, and the order said, go there immediately. But in fact, I asked the officer who gave me the drafting order whether I could first visit my grandmother who had her birthday. And he said, well, he knew that everything is chaotic, he said, yes. And so I went 3 days later only to the artillery barracks. Nobody cared. And then we were there. And then, it was already getting a little bit difficult because the English or Americans began to surround the city, and we were supposed to get out. And then we had the order to collect on the yards of our barracks. But we had very good German guns, and we did something very dangerous, which somebody in our room proposed. We should not take the guns along, then we would be used for fighting. We should hide them in our mattresses, straw mattresses. And in fact, everybody did this and nobody spoke about it. And the officers didn't realize that we had already guns, so we couldn't do anything. And later we got French guns with Czech munition, and nothing worked. And so actually I never fired a shot. We were supposed to go to some fighting in this Ruhr Kessel, as it is called in German. The whole Ruhr district was surrounded. But we were running around there. It was chaotic, and suddenly we were already alone. All our officers had left us, and then there came one American soldier with a machine gun and took us prisoners. And it was could have been dangerous if one of us would have been crazy, but it wasn't the case. And so we were prisoners, and then, after some intermediary stopovers, we were put into the Rhine meadows, near Remagen, where there was a camp for prisoners, and we stayed there day and night, under the free sky, with without any protection, and we received 1/3 of the emergency ratio of an American soldier, and but it was enough that we did not starve, and there was sometimes some additional food, and there was water, and also toilets, and so it was possible to survive there. And finally, perhaps because I was under 18, I was released on July 45 and went back to my family, who were still in this town, Balve, in the Sauerland. And there I, of course, was a great surprise that I came. And there I was home. It was incredible. I was so lucky. It was such much luck in the whole thing that I was not sent to France, to some other camp, and had to wait there for a year or two with working duties. So I was home, and I enjoyed it very much. Of course, a free life. I felt as a free man. Of course, I was shocked, really, when I saw for the first time pictures from the many concentration camps which were liberated, and a shock which actually never left me. It was terrible, but still we had to live, and life continued.